today, as I chase away mosquitoes, and perhaps more than anything else, today it felt like I was back in Malawi. My name is Werner Puchert, and this is Finding Frequency. So why Malawi? So perhaps, first of all, tons of mosquitoes again tonight. I'm sitting here downstairs in my garage. I just put my motorcycle under its cover. So mosquitoes. The second point is that we completely boiled today again. Warsaw did us no favors. It really felt like African heat, like the time I was in Malawi. And the third reason is that I washed my motorcycle today. Now, why does Malawi and motorcycle washing, what does that have in common? Now, a couple of years ago, and I did mention this before, is I did a trip with the United Nations Women Division, 15 bikers. We traveled Africa to speak out against violence against women and children. And that was one of the most touching and most amazing adventures that I've ever had in my life up to this point. Now, the reason that made me think of specifically Malawi is that at one point we had a rest bit in Malawi, also one of the countries in Southern Africa. And some of us decided to have our motorcycles cleaned. I think we were already 7 or 8 days into our journey. And let me tell you what, our motorcycles weren't looking good at all. And just a handful of us. My friends got some guy who was working there to clean their bikes for them. I refused. I wanted to clean my own motorcycle. So I ended up spending some time with this guy, which actually gave me a lot of insights. I will never forget spending some time with him and having a few conversations and getting some insights into his life. So that was special. But then afterwards, we were penalized by the group because some of us cleaned our motorcycles. How dare we? I mean, it was a little bit of a fun thing, but there was a reason for it. And it was also reflective of my personality. A lot of my friends make fun of me because I tend to really look after my stuff, maybe a little bit of overkill. And I spent about 2-3 hours a day cleaning and looking after my motorcycle. It was the first time that I've been in Poland that I've overkilled so much. Of course, I've washed my motorcycle before, but not so deeply. And there's a reason for it, and it's twofold. For the things that I own, I always feel like I'm lucky. I am privileged to have things like this. So standing next to this motorcycle, looking down at it, I do deeply appreciate it. But there's a second, probably more important reason, and that's the same reason I also got the same kind of attitude when I was in the military. I was hectic cleaning rifles, for example. I actually got paid by some guys to look after some of their gear. Made me a lot of good money, but there's a reason for it. And for example, this motorcycle, I rely on it to take me on many journeys. And there's a lot of things that I need to focus on and concentrate on when I am on the road. And the last thing that I want to have happen is something going wrong on the engine or the machine itself, because that is something that I can spot now. That's something that I can take care of now. By doing this, by spending the time looking after what I have and looking after this machine and making sure it's in top shape as best as I can, means that I can then take my concentration and my focus and then focus on the other stuff, focus on the road, enjoy the road, focus on my safety. And I think that's true for a lot of things in life. And when we start taking a lot of things for granted and not taking care of the small things and spending a little bit of time focusing on the simple things and making sure the things that we rely on work properly, we're unable to do the big things and enjoy the big journeys in life. And yeah, that's the reason I've done this. And I must say my wife was, of course, also quite keen to get out of Warsaw again. She doesn't like sitting around, especially when the weather is like this. But in the end, I wouldn't say that I influenced her, but in the end, she also got a few things done at home. And I think we feel better for it. We did end off, of course, the last part of the day just going out to one of the parks and having Francie run wild for a little bit, and boy, did he run wild. And yeah, so we're back at home and motorcycle is all clean and closed up and ready for its sleep, and potentially, as it stands right here, for its next adventure, as I swat away a mosquito as they attack me here trying to record this. So yes, I need to go back upstairs and work on my mental state to make sure that I am ready for my journey next week. A lot of things to do, a lot of things to complete this week, a few deadlines. So I have to put shoulder to the wheel this week. So you know what? Let this week be a good one. Thanks for listening.